These next few slides are about topic webs. And a topic web is really just a focused vocabulary. And I recommend that teachers do this in relation to any topic that they're serious about pursuing as a project in their classroom. Now, this is teacher armchair work, if you like, or desk work. You can do it at a table with small post-it notes, the very smallest. You brainstorm as many ideas as you can that are single words which relate to the topic. Words you would use in a conversation about the topic. Words that were sure to come up if you did a study of the topic. And those words, sometimes I've seen people do the kind of, they call it a web, they have a thing in the middle, and then it looks like more like a millipede with lots of little lines going off with single words. That's not particularly helpful as a planning tool. What makes it helpful is to categorize the words and group them and give a label to each group. So what you see here is the central idea, which is snow and ice, how topical, and also subtopics like snow, ice, animals, what do they do, clothes that you need to think about, equipment, the weather, activities you can do in the snow, measuring, places you can find the snow or go and see it, visit it. You don't have to go far right now, do you? Machines and tools that and I live in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and we have snow on the ground from October to April. And it's unremitting. Once the snow is down, it's there for the next 5 months. And so if we didn't do our field work in snow and ice, then we probably wouldn't do any. So you have to do it up there. No snow days. So somebody was asking me today if you have snow days. I've got to go back and ask that question. I don't hardly remember. It would have to be a blizzard, a whiteout. Otherwise, I think we just carry on as usual. You know. Otherwise, we live in a half-life. So what you see here is these subheadings are really important in providing you smaller groups of vocabulary which you can use to talk about those subtopics. And it's very important that you think in terms of the subtopics of your topic, because you need to be able as teachers to recognize when the children are moving from moving from one topic to another. They don't all stay in the same areas, and you want to be able to follow their thinking as they get curious about the different aspects of the topic. And you'll notice, by the way, just for formality, and for those of you who are going on with the workshop tomorrow, you'll be making some webs tomorrow morning. And I want you to notice that it's really helpful, it seems to me, to have all the words written. You can handwrite them easily, of course, but make them horizontal rather than, sometimes I've seen webs that kind of, you know, the person looks as though they used it like a clock and turned it around to do the next set. It's difficult to read if you don't have all the words horizontal. But this is a nice example. It doesn't have to look very formal. This was a first grade project. And making a web of children's ideas is taking the most important words that you hear, the most common and useful words related to the topic, and using a blank piece of chart paper or a whiteboard or something nearby, you put those words up, just a few at a time. And you've got very young children, most of you, so you won't want to give them too many words at once, but the words that get added to this web that starts with a blank piece of paper should come from their stories. And each day you add 2 or 3 more words. And you build up a web, and each day you review what happened the day before. In Reggio, they do a lot of this revisiting discussions and information exchanges with the children. And you can find the web will emerge from those discussions as you go along. And make sure the parents know what the topic of study is. So, and especially if you think they may have some contribution to make, they may offer you access to a field site, or they may be able to come in and share some expertise that they have through an interest or through work, through training. By the way, grandparents, don't forget the grandparents. They're incredibly knowledgeable and have more time sometimes than parents. And they have a sort of historical perspective on your topic, which can be useful depending on what the topic is. But I found grandparents are very good at speaking with young children. They're slower, and they can slow down, and they're used to young children. They're interested in young children in a way that parents almost don't have time to be.